100% on our way to the moon.
Moontrain's on point, we're in the groove, trading like a symphony. With the
Dollars
big
over
mics,
$50,000.
juicing a
I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader.
We're on the moon train.
Then we watched you guys land on the moon.
No, you did.
This is how you become a day trader.
Hey, how come you didn't stop?
I don't want it.
You didn't want to stop? No. Okay, so what?
All right. Well, here I posted that we had a minor trend change coming up, and that played out very nicely on SPX. It wasn't the easiest trade because it was pretty sketchy to hold, but we rolled up all the way to that trend line. Last trade of the week was actually NDX. Turned out really great. So we're in this area where we have a bunch of trend lines showing up. Now, we've had this deal supposedly over the weekend, which has resulted in us now being over that high. So this is a very interesting situation where you rally to this trend line, that's the old FOMC line, and you reject. So you could see this as a wall into the close. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say that if you don't maintain this current gap up, and Iran has also said that it's bogus, and there's something to that claim, because the last two candles on oil during Friday's session look like this. And a lot of people aren't talking about that. Now, today, Sunday the 2nd, is exactly the day that Trump gave as the Bedlam Day, right? That's why he signed that deal in Versailles, ironically. So you couple this with this whole intervention here. A lot can be said about it. Is it on purpose? Now the US Treasury is acting as Bank of Japan, you name it. The timing here is peculiar, and especially this news here today was bro just itching for a trade over the weekend and wanted to play hyper liquid oil shorts, or did they put out this news because if they hadn't, oil would have been in the 90s in about 8 to 9 hours. And then you couple this with the reports that the new Fed chair, or the guy playing the new Fed chair, wants to cut back on meetings. Well, if you promise to cut and you don't hold meetings before the midterms, it's not a talking point. If you wrap this up right now and you deliver a cut right before your supposed election, then I guess it looks good and keeps the masses dulled down for a little bit longer. Also, if you look on a map, there are I know Elon was driving BB around doing the hand signal, but there's still no pipelines built out of the Middle East. So something needs to be done, and I think this is your clue here to why we have a deal. So how am I gonna play this? I'm not in anything, and let's be real here. If 748.52 is all you get, you were allowed still to buy at 746.74. You add 2 days of theta to that to what? Get the fucking here. That's no trade. So I will be looking. Obviously, futures open 2 hours before SPX opens, extended hours. I will be looking at what these ass clowns over here are gonna do, because these guys are gonna be gapping down. Why are those guys gonna be gapping down? Well, because when they closed, they were having a fucking Korean barbecue at 9:30, and then Ken and the boys served up some shit on a platter again. Now, yes, we did play those 2 candles, but like that's gnarly. Okay, that is a gnarly fucking sell for over $100 on that. So I will be looking to see what these boys are up to, and if after their gap down, and undoubtedly futures are gonna pull a move, then if I then can grab some SPX for cheap for like this range here, because these are our 2 remaining targets to the upside. Now, Trump has come out on Saturday and said that it could be signed within days. Meanwhile, mixed messaging from Iran, because who knows who's really negotiating over there, right? But all week we were after this gap, and we got it right there. So unless you flip this trend line, you're gonna get dive bombs, right? Like, it is, there's no fucking way we don't at least backtest this trend line this week. Okay, yes, we've gone over the FOMC here, and then we started ripping. I wouldn't really call this a backtest per se. You don't just backtest once and then just fucking rally for all eternity, right? So there's one trend line here, there's the old FOMC target, there's 2 targets left by our system, there's another trend line and another trend line, right? Do I think that we go to all-time highs in August? Yeah, completely possible if you actually get a deal signed. And that is also what, ironically, our good old sports calendar kind of illustrates right here. So here you got yourself a deal, something bad happens, same type of double bottom, and then you start this fucking grind up. And I've played this August grind up, and you gotta kind of have a core position you pick out for yourself that you play and protect in and out. So again, it's completely up to you how you approach this month. July was not an easy month to trade at fucking all. Scam candles, this and that. But the significant thing here is you have this move up, you have this move up, same move right here up. So what we're looking for, are we going to overshoot and then chop down, or do we have more continuation here in the tank? We've spent 4 months soon in this range, so like I wouldn't call this or this or this the actual fake breakdown of this range. And what usually happens when you start, range trading, here's a great example. You get into a range, you start absorbing it, then you have the fake breakdown, and then you fucking go and you chop a little bit above it, and then you go to the next level, right? I've showed you this before here. here's the best example of it. You spend months here and then boom. Now this was obviously the tariffs that now came out that Apple is getting refunded. That doesn't mean that you who paid for those refunds are getting shit back. So again, get better at trading. Okay? The Namo, we had a good call on this bottom here. This looks like an inverted head and shoulders, might have a day or two left in the tank until it at minimum starts fucking chopping again. Unless you get a actual deal, and this is the one to catch people off guard and you go back to 80, the likelihood is like 90% that happens, okay? We have some spicy MU ghosties to keep an eye on, and you don't have to play MU, but it's a good indication of what the market's gonna do, because right now, and let's be real, the only fucking reason that the market is up is this massive transfer of wealth going into Microsoft, and obviously, sure, not that I trade it, but I'm gonna pull it up. Amazon and Microsoft up big. Now that's a candle outside of the Bollinger Band. Is it gonna go too much more? Probably not. Okay, so those were the two winners. This got flushed, was in here, sold for 20, shouldn't have, but it's okay. I caught NDX because I couldn't have played these after here anyways, this move, but I caught it on NDX, so I'm happy about it, and I was pretty in the zone with SPX. On the flip side, this shit got handled, you know, the ugly stick. Yes, it's up a lot though, so, you know, I keep talking about the 3-day rule. I didn't touch it. I guess you could have made money here, but I didn't touch it. I'll wait for Monday, kind of see how this market settles. Money going into China at a rapid pace, again, due to this war. Here's one we haven't looked at for a while. Very interesting setup here, getting pretty ready. Nvidia, we traded that. That came down too in the end, but I had those at I think 8 cents. They ran crazy, so Friday was one of those days where at the end they juiced the premiums for next week. So we know that, you know, be very selective of what you trade going into the week. Maybe stick to Spike QQQ and SPX until you know, there's gonna be a sale next week at some point, is what I'm saying. We got our pumping into the full moon. Chances are, come this, there's gonna be a sell from here to here, and maybe we start grinding up on 13th or around it again. That would make sense to me. Looking at this shit, some wild moves again. There seems to be a little bit dark pool on that, but they're moving out of this, and you need to pay attention to the Dow here, because it's had a completely different life than the NAS. The NAS has been obviously, I mean, look at that. That's all up there, and you compare that to QQQ, that's on a completely different timeline in reality, due to this relationship with the stock market in South Korea. So obviously bullish action here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a rotation into tech. So again, keep that in mind that you're trading different markets. Then you got this fucking band-aid for everything called the Clarity Act coming in. I will probably just stick to what worked last week, which is try to get my daily quota of monopoly money called the dollar out of the stock market and try not to get fucked, because it's easy to get fucked in this market. There's not anybody who traded July that won't subscribe to that idea. As far as data, we love our data. It looks like a pretty straightforward week with the narrative on Monday. We have early low, irregular pattern, early high, irregular pattern on Tuesday, early low Wednesday, early high Thursday, early high Friday. You have this jobs report. I'm gonna wait to see kind of what the VIX 1D does on the end of Monday. If it's up here somewhere, I'll swing calls into it. If it's down here, you're going the other way. Yeah, jolts. I mean, that's gonna move the market, right? And then you're gonna get these minutes here. So now that we call the intervention before it was news, I mean, come on, man. I've been talking about the fucking currency wars for 2 years. Called it based on looking at the chart that they intervened, and hours later, wouldn't you fucking know it, there's Scott Bessent advertising to the world that he's buying Japanese yen. Obviously not as much as Bank of Japan, but still, I mean, it's pretty symbolic and absolutely crazy. Wednesday, ISM services, blah blah blah, ADP, for some fucking Skeletors. Thursday, we got jobs per usual, and Friday here, non-farm. So jolts and non-farm. I know they said we'd have 4% growth by now, almost 6, but we're at 1.5, still getting feasted. So it's probably gonna get absolutely retarded, and they're going to have to pour on a lot of stupid sauce to get people emotionally charged to the point where they will go to the urns and cast their vote for a failing system, right? So that's what I'm expecting, at least. So Monday, with good chance you're going to test that upper FOMC line, you sell, you come down to here, okay? Let's take a look into the week a little bit. If we got some new good stuff. August, it's August already. So yeah, you hold that gap up, probably 750 is your max. You lose 745, you can start nuking here, and you can actually pretty easily nuke down to 730. Okay. Tuesday has that massive green stick there at 704. I don't know really what to think about that. Chances are you still hold 745 unless some bad shit happens, which, I mean, completely possible. Wednesday looks pretty ugly, like you're at 733. Plausible. Thursday, that looks like you bounced. And Friday, yeah, so it looks like midweek sell that is supposed to recover. So good old Trump algo. I subscribe to that idea, and yeah, we'll see kind of where this market's going, because do I trust it? No, I fucking don't. But that doesn't mean it can't go higher. I don't want to sit here and not participate when it goes higher. Am I gonna watch the downside? Yes. Am I gonna watch what the premiums do on SPX during the Asian session? Yes, because I've watched it now for 2 weeks where they rip contracts literally 1,000% within 12 hours back and forth. So I suggest you do the same. All right, guys, love you all, and I will see you on the train next week.
We're riding with the